So it feels like we're heading towards a breaking point in this country. Mandated vaccinations, big tech censorship, border hypocrisy, and it's all coming to a head. Bryan Dean Wright is an opinion writer. He's also a former CIA officer, and he joins us now. Bryan, you've talked a lot about this. It's good to have you join us.
Amen.
I wanted to get your thoughts on this situation, for instance, how this plays into. It's crazy that we're looking at the pandemic and then we're also looking at border policy. But this has been coming from so many local Texas news outlets, television stations down near the border, near McAllen, Texas, near the Rio Grande Valley. And of course, from people who are trying to illegally enter themselves, from border police, and even from Democratic mayors. I mean, these are strong blue Democrat areas. Lindsey Graham came out today with a representative from Texas who was from a strong blue area, and they were all saying that it's really difficult to really believe the sincerity with that the Biden administration and others that they speak with when they talk about being concerned with the pandemic and the Delta variant and the spread, considering that we don't have really any record of testing of anyone coming across the border. We know for a fact that only some are and some aren't. And then just having people be put on, buses and vans and whatever and taken throughout the rest of the country, that seems like that should be a concern for something that is as contagious as chickenpox, as the CDC says, Bryan.
Right. Well, look, I live and work in Southern Virginia, but about a few dozen miles from the border. And I can tell you that in communities like Sierra Vista, Arizona, Sonoyta, Benson, even Tucson, there are people talking about this to say, look, there is a hypocrisy here, isn't there? That we talk about the importance of masking, about social distancing, get your vaccine, talk to your doctor about a very serious virus. And in fact, this is. So we are being told, and indeed, we're all having these very serious conversations. But yet our own government is effectively opening up the border. And what we also have seen, and no doubt you have seen this, folks are getting rid of their passports, their IDs, because their belief is they will be less of a chance of being deported. So not only are we unable to determine who these people are in terms of, say, their terror threat, et cetera, but we don't even have the ability to reach back to their home countries to ask anything about those folks' exposure or involvement in any other kind of potential medical issues or concerns that they might be bringing that virus in addition to other kinds of sicknesses. So this is a very real concern for me as an Arizonan, for my friends, for my neighbors, for military bases like Fort Huachuca down in Sierra Vista, or Davis-Monthan Air Force Base here in Tucson. This is a real issue for a lot of people in places like Arizona, but McAllen, Texas, you were talking about, the bluer areas of Texas, the Rio Grande Valley. There are a lot of Hispanic folks that are saying, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter what color of the person this is coming across the border. If it's illegally, it's wrong for lots of reasons, to include the fact that we, irrespective of who you might be, are going to be impacted by whatever comes across the border, the criminality, the terror, and yes, the COVID and the medical piece as well. That's not being discussed, and I think a lot of the folks that I speak with are very, very upset by it.
What are your thoughts about Attorney General Merrick Garland threatening to sue Texas Governor Greg Abbott for putting a stop to that transport of those illegal entrants out throughout the rest of the state? I mean, that was pretty shocking, considering he said it was dangerous and unlawful. Interesting choice of words for him.
No, look, here's what's happening. The administration doesn't want a border, and Texas does, and that makes Joe Biden and Merrick Garland very cranky. So if you step back and understand why all this is happening, there's clearly a political calculus that has been made by President Biden and the left saying open borders are good for us politically, more folks the better. Although only certain south of the border that are likely to vote for us, let's prioritize them, because those Cubans, they'll end up getting to Miami and voting for Republicans. So let's just let the other folks come in. So I think that what is very clear at this point is it's very much a political calculus, and that's horrific, because we are playing fire or with fire in terms of who we let in, because we don't know who those folks are. But secondarily, we're remaking the country. And by we, it's not you and I deciding at the ballot box with the representatives who we should or shouldn't let into the country, but it's a bunch of folks in Washington, D.C. who has decided by fiat what our new country should look like and who should be a part of it and the values that they should hold. That is the most absurd piece of all this to me. And I think the governor of Texas recognizes that. A lot of other Republican governors recognize it. And they're saying, enough.